but you have the very strong mother. And so the daughter wanted to, I mean, they're just doing great. Okay, the daughters did great. I'm not blaming the mother because the mother's a good person, but maybe the father was an idiot that was good to the girls and mediocre to the boy. You know, like the boy was darker skinned, maybe that could be. But I see this trend in the girls being given practically everything to develop, and the boys are told to make it. And sometimes that happens different ways, where the mom wants the boy. She doesn't care how poorly he does in school, but they push their daughters. I had an aunt. I mean, sons just sucked in school, could have done a lot better. Mom went to school to fight with the teachers that were demanding better performances from the boys. But at least the oldest girl, the rebellious one that was born, uh, the mom was pregnant with her when she was married, but you know how that came. The child born of rebellion was the salutatorian of their high school. So mom really invested stuff in the child of rebellion. The girl didn't want the first boy. So that boy died of AIDS. She didn't want, clearly didn't love this child. You could tell. And no one said anything because he was a male child. She's female, and whatever women do is you, you get where I'm coming from. I could just do this all day long. Ultimately, um, Palestinian women right now are doing everything they can to help Palestinian men. Every group of people that are under pressure, the women are behind the men. We're the only group of people in the world where the women, where a significant number of the women, not all, are against their own group. And this is noticeable. This is a conversation that other people notice it. And the so-called sharp black women do not do it. They, the same way that whites don't acknowledge that they're racist, the black women, too few, the numbers are too small. I don't care. I mean, some of the people that are listening get it, but a lot don't. That things are out of order and what's happening is treasonous. And when you have a people struggle, which we haven't had, and by the way, the black women are not accountable, but it is ultimately black men's fault. I repeat, they are not accountable. And it is our fault that we haven't created a culture where accountability and being to your word is backed up. I know certain cultures and people, if someone tells you something, that's going to happen. Do you know jive? And let me just say it, black male jive, bullshit, chicken shit culture. That's seen as normative. If someone says they're going to do something for you or with you, and they don't deliver any of it ever, okay, that is the norm. And that's why a lot of times you have to work with other people. Come on, chef, you're in business. How many times have you had to go to everybody but a black man in particular? You know you're not. He's not going to do it, even if he could. It's sort of like we enjoy cheating and fucking over each other as like it's a sport. And the net effect is the whole ecology of our people is destroyed by this covenant breaking, backstabbing, lying, the term I use, brotherfucker culture. That also supports the lack of accountability by women. First and foremost, I don't want women accountable because if I want to screw your lady, if she's accountable to you, I can't get that extra OPP. I want her to not be true to you, so I can get that. And if she gets pregnant, she can either kill it before you find out. I mean, I've seen people, they have enough EPT tests to be a hospital, right? I mean, they be buying them shits. They be selling out in the dollar store, like all of them be gone. Make certain that they kill the baby, or if she gets an abortion, or if you and I look enough alike, she can pass this shit off on you and shit. No skin off my ass. We also, there's a certain sector of black men that like this hedonistic bohemian coon Wild West culture. And so it's like it works together. It's like bullshit yin and bullshit yang. And we have to decouple that. However, because our culture is top heavy with females, we have to go after the sacred cow because speaking speaking truth to pussy is not politically correct in the black community. I repeat, speaking truth to pussy is wrong. It's a taboo. Uh, Again, the phrase is, "Do you know what she's got?" Translation: she's got a big ass. Don't say that to her. You may not get topped off sometime later. And so all of the black men live under this. It's like a contract writer. You know, if you ever had a contract and you want chocolates and shit if you perform or speak, or you want Evian water, or you want what's the stuff called? Poland Spring or whatever, or glacier water or Fiji water. You have a rider, it's at the very bottom of your contract. There's a social contract in black men that you do not criticize or hold black women accountable in general. Unless she's really ugly and you can't stand her as well. So basically, if they're fuckable, just let everything go. Because you might need to fuck some point. And that could be the person that you could get access to and you're gonna blow it. And there's this pussy shortage, pussy deficit, hedonism among black men who are going to run out. They can never say, there's no person they wouldn't screw. They would screw the Halloween skeleton if they could keep it from flying around when the wind blew. And there are plenty of holes too. That kind of manhood where your achievement is through your penis. It's not your brain. It's not your talents with your hands, but how much screwing you do. That is the engine of this female delinquency and malevolency and mendacity. It is we black men that keep backing it. For a sexual meal, we're probably not even going to get. I mean, frankly, Happy Meals aren't good for you. I'll stop there. Chef?
Doc, can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Come on, bring it.
Yeah, I think that again, I make a distinction between the culture and a belief system. I think
Mm-hmm.
I think the behavior that happens in the culture is to be expected because it's a part
Mm-hmm.
of the culture. But when you become a believer, whether you are a believer in Jesus, Yeshua, whether you're a believer in uh, whatever your belief system is, then you come under the authority of the scriptures. Um, I don't try to impose the belief system on the culture because I think that has been the problem. When the culture when you leave the culture and come to the belief system, there should be a difference because you're leaving something that may not have no standards, and you come to the belief system. Like I said, I am unapologetic, like you, Brother Short. We are followers of the teachings of Jesus, the Christ, the revolutionary one, the one who you don't kill a weak person, you kill a strong person. You know, you leave weak people around to affect other weak people. Okay. So from my perspective, because we've got so much of the people in the belief system trying to bring the culture in,
Mm-hmm.
that's what the problem is. But if we stand on scriptures, again, I can go back to Genesis 3:16. I'm gonna go, a matter of fact, I'm going to Genesis 3:16. Why not? Because I think that's important. This was after the fall. This was when the woman decided to eat the forbidden fruit. Okay. And the instructions that God gave her. Now you ain't got to believe this if you're not a follower of the teaching of Jesus. You ain't got to believe this if you're a Muslim. You ain't got to believe this if you're Judaism. I don't know what you subscribe to, but I believe. And it says, unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. And in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire should be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Let me say this. I want to be very clear. For whatever reason, that little part where it says, but he shall rule over thee, that desire, from my understanding, is you're going to try to rule your husband.
They ain't trying, they doing it.
And even God himself says, but he shall rule you. See, women look here, when they ate from that fruit, it made them smart, too damn smart.
It made them dumb. It says proclaiming themselves wise. When you step out of God's order, you're stupid. It's stupid for the woman to want to go in the boxing match with the man in the U.S. Army. It's stupid for women to tolerate men who still have penises to compete as women in women's sports. Women tomorrow could do a Bud Light and clean this. But you know what's interesting? I'm going to say this to you, ladies. You guys do best when you're attacking men that are doing what they're supposed to do. When men don't give a damn about women, the men that hate women, the men that dog women, they're not checked. And in reality, women wait for men to check men that are out of order with women. And it used to be, at least like in the old movies, where the hoe was tied to the railroad track and then waiting for a man to say that at least he showed up instead of letting the train cut her in half. Now the modern woman's too good to ask for help because she's equal. No, she ain't equal. She's a woman. She still needs the help. So, go on, keep going, brother. I'm sorry.
Well, I think the reason why the women don't check them because the women spawn them. It's very difficult to check the thing you spawned. They've cuddled these. They've raised these out of order men. You're not gonna check something that you spawned. Think about it. A strong brother like myself, you're not gonna check me because I won't let you check me. But for that thing, that
women that
male,
try to check you and they expect sex with a smile and your money and your credit card. No, that's like a triple no.
I just know that, you know, the man has got to assume the authority back in the earth that was given to him. And that woman, if she does not get in line, then we must be willing to step over that carcass too. Look here, man. Even the scripture teaches it's better to live on the rooftop of a house than to live in the house of a brawling, loud woman.
Pork chop.
Okay? Now, look, this is medicine for my sisters. This is medicine because, again, a lot of the sisters are out of order. We know they're out of order, but there has not been no system in place to check them. And living in the system of white male domination, and you've been his favorite toy. You've been one who's been the ear to his pillow talk. Do we got to go back to the birth of a nation? Do I must bring it the birth of a nation?
With it, brother.
Second one.
Well, some people like the birth of a nation. When I see people role playing master and the slave, and they have their pictures up with these black women happily get with the white man, And she's his wench, and he's got a lynch rope around their neck and it's doggy style, and take that, black men and stuff. I mean, there's some women that wish they were Sally Hemings. Sally Hemings she was living in a mansion. Sally Hemings was with a man that was powerful. Sally Hemings was with a man that was rich. Sally Hemings ate good. Sally Hemings dressed good. Sally Hemings made it to the White House. What's wrong with that? Sally Hemings, the sexual ends justify the means. So Hemingism, we can call it that. She's hemming. I like that.
Hemming and hawing. Hemming
Yeah,
and hawing, but go ahead.
That's not a bad position. Like Midnight Train to Georgia, I'd rather be in this world than live without him in mind. I'd rather be in his white world than be a single mother in mine. It's like it's Midnight Train to slavery. I mean, I'll rewrite that. You know, this is a mindset. So, and by the way, don't laugh at me. Black women that marry white men do not get divorced in the same percentages as white women divorce black men that they marry. Black men divorce white women, and black women divorce black men. But when black woman gets herself a white man and she does pay 50-50 and more, don't even try to lie. I hate liars. Those black women they do the Halle Berry, they do the Diana Ross, they subsidize the white men they get with. Oh, yes, they do. With no complaints. They're not on Oprah. They're not talking to Male King. They don't go out and dog those white men that they're taking care of. Shaka Khan didn't do it. None of them do. It never happens. Dorothy Dandridge, none of these black women, when they get ripped off by Go Public, they don't. It's only if, okay. Whoopi Goldberg is a classic example of having a good black husband, but who got her off of dope, but she don't like black men. She gets the white dude and they do blackface together and he calls her nigger. She liked him more than the black man that loved her and got her off of dope.
Ted Danson.
Yeah. So, so don't say it. Don't ever put in your mind, it is our idea that everybody in slavery and all those sexual things were miserable and unhappy. I wasn't there. Somebody enjoyed getting screwed by massa. Because if you didn't, and you had an opportunity, your ass to run away, you ain't did it. Okay, so you're up in the house with the nice lye soap, you get to drink the mint julep that the missus didn't finish. A whole bunch of people live real good. And I'm going to just say this to you. The house nigger in American black culture is unfairly weighted. It's always associated with people like Clyburn or Clarence Thomas. We say only Uncle Tom. We don't say Aunt Tom. We have some way of not saying that. We'll say Mammy, but Mammy's got to work both sides. We don't have a word for female traitor in our culture. We don't, because like for the black man, every person with a pussy is a freedom fighter. Even white women, black men. Again, the issue with the black man is that he has a destroyed ego, and the average black man is a whore with no dick control. And whoever opens the legs up, he doesn't care if she's got swastikas on her titties. If she's got a Ku Klux Klan mask on her vagina, he's going in because it's an unavailable orifice. And until that changes, in fact, that comes back to conversion. Without a concept of something transcending life other than the fatalism here and now, I'm going to get my money, I'm going to get my pussy here now, I don't care about anyone else, which is the dominant cultural mindset of black men and black people right now. Without something coming along that is holy, to get someone to say, hey, I'm not going to cheat on this woman because she's the mother of my children. I'm going to be faithful for the woman. I'm not going to dump a bastard from this dude I don't even know and make the good man I have take care of him and criticize how he raises someone else's a bastard seed. We have to have that. And that only comes, someone just said, niggas come to Jesus while there's time. And the same way that I had to shut down my chat because there are people from other countries trying to get in the middle of our situation because they know how bad stuff is. I mean, no other group of people, no other group of women in the world have made a movie like Color Purple. You could never get a group of people enslaved by another group of people to make a movie to attack the men and the people who fought against the people that held them in slavery. What am I saying? Spielberg, and I'm not saying this to be ugly, I'm just going to state a fact. I have an ancestor named Robert Israel. He's a Jew. He had slave plantations in Barbados. There are a lot of people who own and participate in the slave trade that are GCP. They're the same people who run Hollywood. Okay, how Oprah and all these other people run up behind the descendants of people who owned their great-great-grandparents. All this damn black slave trauma porn that Oprah makes. The people who got rich off of that trauma are underwriting the movies to make fun of us. No other group of people would do this. No other group of women would dare do this. I'm trying to tell you, in India and other places, they would mob these women. You would get beaten and stripped naked in the street and kicked. I don't want anything like that, and that's not what I'm suggesting. But you would be shut down. You couldn't drag them in. Let me tell you, the Palestinian men in Gaza who are on these little red pills, they're on drugs because they're miserable because of unemployment. And the women have to take care of them. They're in and out of jail. They're harassed by everybody. You'll never see negative depictions of Palestinian men except for in GCP media. They won't put it out there. We can take Pakistanis, the guys who killed their sisters for saying hi to another guy at school, an honor killing. You will never see negative depictions of Pakistani men in mainstream. Maybe a local small film, and there'll be some feminists funded by United Nations subsidiary or some Western group. I'm not saying that this stuff they're saying wouldn't be true. You can't put the flaws and the foibles and the failings of any group of men in the world on blast and there not be physical and economic repercussions against the person that did it. The fact that this constantly happens amongst our women shows, one, that our women are working in alliance with people who hate like women. Two, that black men have not said, we're going to shut this shit down. And we absolutely haven't done that. There was one great Wazi black woman, her name is Fannie Lou Hamer, who stood up alone and tried to stop some of this stuff in the early 70s. And then all of a sudden people turned on her when she wasn't for all this degenerate stuff and baby killing. Fannie Lou Hamer sort of got eased out. Okay. So the other thing is black men haven't gotten behind righteous black women. When I do my sermon on Sunday, it will be, if your baby you destroy, you're a sodomite decoy. Black men that support hedonism, abortion, degeneracy, basically you're fags in spirit. You may not suck the dick, you may not sit on the dick, you may not be dicking no man, but the way that you live and the culture that you subsidize through the blood of your babies and your money and the stupid things you do, you are ushering in the ecology of degeneracy with the trans, the women with dicks, the men with titties. This is how, what you do when, you know, basically, as long as I don't care what nobody do, as long as they don't hurt nobody. No, you do too hurt someone when you abort a baby. You hurt the baby. You fuck up the woman, she ends up with breast cancer, and nobody ever talks about that. Or the other problems, or you get a little nasty East Asian doctor that scrapes too hard on her fallopian tube, and then she gets ectopic pregnancies and dies. We do too with the degenerate, immoral, awful things that we do. When you get someone, when you do these things, when you screw someone young, when you don't check to find out whether you have a bunch of yeast in your dick that's going to clog her shit up for the next 10 years because you're so nasty. You'd screw a horse, you'd screw a goat, you'd put your dick in garbage disposal if you could get on top of the sink. That does too hurt.
Doc, I'll say this. I think that you put a lot on the table, but I think the root of it is this: you protect what you love.
Mm-hmm. Well, ain't fighting nothing, ain't protecting nothing.
No, I'm talking
no,
about.
You're gonna put on a condom, man. I gotta wear it. I got a big nice dick. I gotta wear it.
The women from other countries who are not talking about their men, it's because they love their men.
They love their men.
And they love their children.
They love their children.
You protect them.
So
at the end of the day, if I say I love you, I'm going to protect you.
But not only that, if you love them, you're not ungrateful. And let's just get. I'm gonna say this, and I won't interrupt you again. We have a bunch of ungrateful bitches in our community. There's not no amount of money, no amount of anything that a black man can do that's okay. You're ingrate. It's an abomination before God. It's outrageous. Everybody wants what you have, including the degenerates, and you don't want it. Go ahead, brother.
Again, to my ladies, it's not all of you.
It's too many.
It's enough of you. They're not checking the ones who are out of order.
Mm-hmm. They're supposed to be police like the Muslim women. You can't come to the masjid looking like a hoe. They will check you. It used to be like that in church, but then when all the women want to be preachers, can't even cover the women's shit.
Watch this. I had a conversation with a female pastor, and I said it was the first ladies that destroyed others in the church. There could only be one queen, like a queen bee in the beehive. It was the first lady concept that destroyed the mothers in the church.
There's no concept of a first lady in the damn Bible.
That's what I'm saying.
The only person that matters is the man. Get over it. We can't have children. You can't be dudes. There's some things we get that are ours, and there's some things that you get that we share. I'm going to say this to you. Go to a church, the women go with almost no drawers on under their dresses and sit up in the front of the church. The women they might hand them something to put over their knees. How about putting those holes out? I've seen women come to church in men's clothing. I've seen stud couples snuggling and cuddling in church in men's clothes and not a peep. Two men couldn't do that. Even if the choir had more sugar than Cuba, you couldn't do it. Because not only do they not love and not care and they're ungrateful, they don't mind. There's nothing that women can do wrong because there's this imagined alliance that we women have to stick together. We have to stick together, and I'm not going to call you out. I'm not going to call you out. I'm not going to call you out that you're cheating on your husband. I'm not going to call you out that you put the vagina up in the face of our guest pastor. I'm not going to call you out because we women have to appear to be a united front to take on these men because we're poor feminists before we're black or Christian. In fact, well, I just think being a woman makes me say I'm God. I'm given a life. I mean, you hear these incredibly stupid stuff, and you'll always find, pardon my language, a dumb fuck conscious community, often an old, used up nigga that wants to be relevant, often roots in the 60s and 70s, that run around and they're talking all this dumb Pan-Africanist and African matriarchy. If matriarchy is what ran Africa and the white people and Arabs have kicked their ass for 1400 years, maybe we don't need matriarchy in Africa either. How about that? Okay, shit's not working. And now the Chinese are up in there. If women running shit is why we're fucked up like we are today, all you hoes are fired. Just quit. Get out of running anything. I'm not saying that that's true. I'm just saying, but matriarchy must go. Feminism must go. Conscious community coons, y'all are sorry. And it's interesting, conscious community coons, that people putting up all this stuff. And the first God was a woman. Says, no wonder we're fucked up. The first God should have been God.
I want to back you up on this. And I'm going to go to the scripture.
Mm.
Again, I'm a scripture type of brother. And again, when I stand 10 toes down, it's on the scripture. And if you ask every man what is his purpose in this earth, he would give you some different story. I'm going to give you my purpose in this earth, and I'm going to give you the scripture. Genesis 1:26. I'm going to read it. And God said, let us make man in our image and our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over the creeping things that creep.
Come on.
This is me. I believe in dominion. He didn't give that to the woman. Most of our white brethren, they use this scripture to rule. They use this scripture to go about manifest destiny. They understand dominion over everything. Not the woman, the man. And once we wake up and realize we're supposed to dominate everything and even them.
Did you hear that, pork chops? Are you listening, pork chops? Are you listening, pork chops?
Because at the end of the day, and I'll back it up with what I said.
No, say that again. Who are we supposed to? Are you listening, pork chops? A man is speaking.
We're supposed to dominate everything, including them. Watch this. Genesis.
Even the loudmouth sisters with the wagging heads.
Listen, watch this.
Even are we supposed to dominate the loudmouth sisters? The
every one of them. Every one of them.
Even when they wag their head. Even when they've got a big juicy booty, are you supposed to dominate her too? You know, she's kind of cute.
A big booty is only a disposable waste unit. That's it. That's all a big booty is a big disposable waste unit.
Okay. Well, couldn't you say a deluxe disposable waste unit?
Oh, no, because the function of the big booty is to sit on the toilet and release yourself. That's it.
Pat talk. Listen, you know, patriarchs is speaking. Feminists, you have to listen to this. Everybody out there with feminist friends, please send our stuff to the Women's Studies Department. We can't stand women's studies. We want it all closed down. We need to have a human studies department to teach humanity. Stop separating women from men. I mean, that's stupid. We need to stop this, right? We got to stop it. We got to stop it. We have got to stop it. We have got to stop this. Go ahead, brother. And by the way, I want to remind everyone, please like these programs. Please subscribe to the Lone Wolf Firearm platform. Please look up on their next platform. Subscribe. This is the Angry Black Men's Book Club channel. I have another one. I need 50 to 100 subscribers to subscribe to my DRS1 Let me see what's the. I'll send it out to you. I'm gonna ask y'all to subscribe to my other channel. That way, in case they should take one down, have as many. I think it's DRS1, Randy Short, DRS1, Randy Short, or Randy DRS1, Randy, whatever. Look for DRS1. You'll find it. I want 50 subscribers so I can go live on multiple. I've got about 4 channels just in case something stupid happens. Please, please, please subscribe and send these Pat Talks. We've done 11 to every feminist, to your grandma, to anyone if they're bored, or just women that hate men that want something to argue about. If you know a woman that hates men, please send my videos to all the women that hate men, every misogynist. I want them to be my biggest fans. I'm going to keep making content to prove how terrible and awful men are. We're going to do this. We're going to do this until I die of a heart attack. And by the way, for all of you that hate feminism, I think you all do. If you don't, we're trying to get you there. Remember that this is Randy Eve. My birthday is tomorrow. I want all the subscribers. If you can't give anything, share the platform with 100 people. If you can, 200. Just send it out. That's the greatest gift you can do is you can subscribe, you can share, you can advance this, watch stuff. And by the way, we're having fun, but I also want you to donate. You could do it to me. You could do it to Chef. You could do it to Lone Wolf. You can help Brother Negro. We're going to be doing more of these. We're going to be doing more. We have plenty of content. On my platform, I've got about 45. This will make 46. And if I'm doing something, definitely Sabbath, and I'll probably be doing stuff Sunday. Pretty soon we're going to have 50, and soon we'll have 60. So we want you to watch, donate, and there's no excuse because it's up on the screen. $ Dr. Randy Short is the Cash App. If you do Zelle or PayPal, it's wrandyshort@gmail.com. I'm going to do it again. Dr. Randy Short is the Cash App. $ DRRNDYSHORT. It's not hard to find. It's everywhere. If you are able to do Zelle or PayPal, it's my email, wrandyshort@gmail.com. We do this in part because it takes time and energy. Y'all should make it rain on us. I want to thank everybody that has given. There was one person, I thank you. They sent me 100. That's how the illiterate people from North Carolina and DC say 100 instead of 100. Someone sent me 100. And I'm thinking, I'm cool with 5 and 2 and 3 because some of us have thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. They all don't subscribe, but we have them. So I'm thinking, man, we would be able to do incredible stuff. Yeah, definitely a Cash App again. He said that. All right, Dr. Randy Short, drop it. I'll be 59. That means in 366 days. I mean, God willing, and I claim it, I'll make it to 60. And it's incredible. That means I'm literally a year and a day and 5 and 6 years. Most Black men die at 66. A significant number of Black men die at 66.
Hit the Cash App.
What do you mean? Hit it?
Hit the Cash App.
Yeah, just make a contribution, but also take the time to like this. Take the time to subscribe to Lone Wolf Firearms. Brother Juan has some of the best discussions on safety, firearms, morality, all of that. And you know what? He's got under 200 subscribers, but how many of y'all wish that you knew a Black Rambo? You wish you knew a Black RoboCop. You wish. Well, he's our friendly neighborhood ass-crushing expert on self-defense. And whenever I have a concern or a problem about, wanting someone to get eaten up or what to do, you just call him and he's like got an encyclopedia and just says, well, what you need to do is hit him in the head, then punch him in the face. No, that's right, punch in the center of the face. I mean, whatever it is, he can tell you how to deal with your problem. And he does private lessons. So if you're shy, you have a really big gun and you're a little lady, you don't want people to see how big your guns are because you don't want to scare them off. Um, he does one-on-ones, he does groups. So Lone Wolf Firearms, we're not talking about Black self-respect and Black protection and Black self-defense. We practice it. We invest in it. We provide it. Please, if you have any concern about carjacking, maybe you have a criminal record and you need some alternatives to having a firearm. He knows about the Chinese weapons and shit. He's multilingual in terms of hurting people. He's like universal. He can say, oh, well, you need a stick about 14 inches long. So he can tell you how much to knock someone's ass out. I mean, he can sit down, he's an encyclopedia of pain. Uh, if you're having a problem, if someone has stolen your vehicle, if you think someone's going to steal something, break in your house, if you need to know which Ring camera will be able to see the license plate of the person's car when they drive up, call Brother Lone Wolf. I mean, he's like a walking spook that sat by the door, CIA, friendly neighborhood shaft, it just with longer hair. And so you need to check out his site. He's very laid back. And he seems friendly, but man, and if you need someone, private investigation, security, you just want to go somewhere and need to make certain that people get beat down, call him up. I mean, look him up. Lone Wolf Firearm. Tell everybody you're in the DC area, and the crackers moving in, gentrification. Did you hear about the little Ukrainians spitting on the black women in the apartment buildings? Yeah, we need to stock up. And if you need any help on laws or registering, why do the shit yourself? You can't go to the Catholic Church and have them fill in your shit. You have to do it yourself. You need someone to show you how to fill in the forms, get yourself a little power tool. Just, have a little talk with Jesus and a bigger talk with your weapon. Just so when people are acting stupid, that all these illegals, there are like 7-8 million of them, they're now raping and kidnapping people, snatching pocketbooks. Why be a victim? You're already Black. Why be a crime victim too? That's too much. That's too big a cross Jesus didn't carry. So look up on with firearms. If you do parties, if you know anything about food, whatever, you need to talk to Chef C. Chef C has a budget that can provide for whatever, but please, no welfare share. Okay, he's high in. So, if you're like broke ass Black people, just go to Popeyes, Bojangles. But if you're serious, waiting and some shit like that, Chef C can be the consultant. He knows cooks and so forth. You need a doctor. You need to go up and look and then go on the next. Look his ass up. He's really over stuff. And if you don't want somebody with HIV making your food, you want a straight Black male cook who's not looking at your husband, have Chef provide the food. You can have a straight person make your wedding cake. Okay, why not? So, of course, me, Blackie's Book Club. Yes, we've had a vacation from the books, but that's because we wanted to do culture. White people do culture war all the time. We're now doing culture war. And when I come back, when I feel like it, I'm thinking maybe after my birthday, I've had a book vacation, having to read about that ugly ass Shirley Chisholm. I mean, it really fucked my eyes up. That's why you see me with glasses. I mean, having to look at that ugly picture all the time and read to y'all was like messing with me. So I'm recovering. So we'll go back to that, but we want you to support everybody. We want you to tell everybody we keep it real. And as much as we hate feminism, we hate faggotists and simps more. We know that the foundation of this is no good, sorry ass Black men. You put the pussy first and you put God never. We're coming for you. So we want you to continue to share this, send this out everywhere. And just a discretionary note, we don't give a damn about your religious views or beliefs, especially if you're in one of those countries where you don't have enough food to eat and you're running out of water and shit. i.e. Pakistan. Okay, where a bunch of you guys are retarded, you should screw your first cousins. You know, when you can get beyond screwing your first cousins, you and I can talk about the religion that you believe. How about that? I mean, who screws your first cousin? You got so many of them retarded, and that's probably why they're so willing to suicide bomb, because you don't have nothing to live for. Can you imagine being a dude with Down syndrome thinking you're going to get a hookup? The only person going to bother you is a molester when you're young. Okay? So let's go back to Pat Talk. That was my commercial break.
Salute. Brother Juan Johnson, you got it, sir. You got the flow.
I want to get back on the topic of dominion. I need every man that's listening to this broadcast or hearing it, you need to know that you're supposed to walk in dominion over everything.
Authority.
Okay? You're supposed to be actively walking in dominion over the fish of the sea, the fowl of the air, cattle, the creepers. And even God said in 3:16 that the woman whose desire should be to you, you shall rule over her. If you're not ruling, you're going to be miserable. We got a lot of men out here that's miserable because they don't rule. You look here.
You need to say that again. You need to say that again. If you ain't
run
ruling,
that back, brother.
if you ain't ruling, you know, you need to say that again because it's a lot of miserable ass dudes out here.
You are going to be miserable because the first command given to man was to have dominion. And any man who's not walking in dominion, he's going to be miserable. It goes against your nature to subject yourself to somebody or something that God told you to rule over.
Right. Feminism. Feminism is antithetical to male well-being, to human existence. Feminism is an abomination. Feminism is it is a rebellion against the first commandment to have dominion. It basically says that men need to stand down, shut the hell up, pleasure women, give up their money, and let their kids run wild. This is the exact opposite of God's order. Feminism is evil, feminism is wrong, and only patriarchy is good. And the fact that we men have allowed them to vilify patriarchy for decades, now it's the time to openly put the word patriarchy in your mouth. Don't be with any woman that does not want a patriarch. That's like wanting a man with no scrotum. What do you want a man for? Yes, the guy has it. Oh, hey, wait a minute. I love this. Hold on. But I would tighten this up, brother. You have dominion over opinion. And I would say divine dominion over secular opinion. You see, divine dominion over secular opinion. Okay. Divine dominion over secular opinion. Patriarchy is made by God. Feminism is made by sodomites and malcontent, miserable women. And often when you see that there's some of the most ugly, hideous women. By the way, did I send you, Chef C? You need to share that video clip from Planned Parenthood where the ugly, fat, bloated Black woman is saying that virginity is a myth. It's an ugly stud. I sent it to you. Oh, yes, I did. Did you see that?
Let me look for it, brother. I'll share.
Hey, Dr. Short, those are the ones, though. Those are the ones that's always doing it.
It's a hideous, ugly woman that no man should want to be with. Yes, I'm body shaming ugly, rebellious feminists. Yes, you're ugly. You are ugly. Lose weight.
You got me right here saying it right now, and I'm calling out one of them right now, Professor Lump. Professor Lump. I heard they call her Professor Clump, but I call her Professor Lump of shit. because she's the biggest feminist black man hater out there.
Yeah,
Whenever she
we
comes online, she talks bad about black men.
we
I've
well,
seen her
well, we
on
need to attack
MSNBC and
her.
everything.
Where's her channel? Because we all need to come on one day and start calling for them to take her channel down. We need to do what they do to patriarchs. We can do the same thing. This is unheard of. No other group of men put up with this. And you know what? There's some dude that say, man, I could back up in her, man. She's probably really, really, really tight. I
But
know
Doc,
she
watch
Oh,
this.
that fat mother. Oh, she
Doc,
got money. She got money, man. Woo, woo, woo. You know, fat chick, man. That woman ain't a fat chick. That woman is a fat lump of shit. That's what she is.
Mm.
how often do you guys hear the ministers of any of the major religions talk about the responsibility of the man beyond protect and provide? I'm talking about back in Genesis 1, which deals with
Brother,
you're supposed to
the
rule
only thing I hear the
everything.
pastors say that the men need to do, they're the same as the women, is give up the money and shut up. Pay, keep giving, dig deep, and keep giving deep. Do what you're told. My anniversary day, Men's Day, just Mother's Day in particular. Mother's Day is Easter for niggas, where we worship our sorry ass failed mothers. That is Easter for Negroes. It's Mother's Day. And Women's Day at the church, and they have all the studs up in the pulpit, all of them with with watermelon-sized boobs. They need to get a better bras. I've never seen such a poor bra selection as on Women's Day. Damn. Learn how to dress. I mean, if I have to learn how to make a bra myself, I know I could make a better one where the stuff isn't sagging like it looks like a water slide because the thing doesn't hold. I mean, come on. I don't even think about, I just said, God, we need better bra design, especially in church. On
Well,
Mother's Day and Women's Day, they all they want the men to do is give money and shut up and keep coming. And y'all should be emotional like the women are. Why don't you speak in tongues and fall out and run around like a woman when I touch you? Because most of these, a large number of these preachers are marginal fuck up guys. A large number of them are guys who didn't fit in. They couldn't be a cop, couldn't be an athlete, couldn't be a baller, couldn't be much of anything. Oh, but in church, where I can be like a weak nothing that could be important because I'm the only one talking, the church is a great place for a weak, sorry, uncharismatic, awkward dude to have some authority. And so that those kind of awkward dudes, they don't want anybody in that church that has any kind of manhood in him because it could threaten his fragile snowflake ego. And the women like him because he's a bigger woman than they are. And that's why these women sit up under that bitch, TD Jakes. Something's wrong with him. I don't care what nobody says. Before P. Diddy, I knew TD Jakes. In fact, there was a Jakes. I bet you he's related to him because he's dark skinned. My dad used to mess around then he stopped. This guy's name was Jakes. DC ain't far from West Virginia. I may have known TD Jakes' father. I hope not, because that dude turned me off. It creeped me. And that's like in 1969. So I've been having problems with the name Jakes for 54 years. When I hear the name Jakes, I get scared. I think that dude was a pedo, the Jakes that my father used to deal with. So I'm looking at this one now cross-eyed. And then there was another Jakes. That was a woman. She was in the voodoo that was at my dad's church. So when I hear Jakes, mm-mm, mm-mm.
I have no response to that.
I didn't say TD. Maybe it's consenting adults because I was with the bishop in the CME church, and he T-boned a man, and he called it consent. I'm not lying.
Well,
I'm
look
not.
at you.
And so no, they have a lot of that. These crooked, deviant preachers. A lot of them. The best place for them would be Epstein Island with a no return ticket. Leave them there.
One of my only responses to the Jake's piece right now, and I've already sent him a notification. I went on his website, told him he need to apologize for women that are loose. that message was attached to feminism. Okay,
Well,
he started
his
preaching that
power
message.
bottom is loose.
Well, he started preaching that in 1992. He retired it in 2022. He had 30 years of telling women to be loose from their husbands and their families, and they took it and they ran with it. And feminism was attached to that message, and he's never repented for loosing these women. That's my response.
But that's what I'm saying. Power bottom, thou art loose. That's what really got loose. See, that's why those women are backing him, Juan. The same women that he told, do whatever the hell you feel like doing. He knew he could get into a room full of a captive audience of hedonists and say that whatever it is, God will forgive me, because that message has attracted all of those ratchet, home wrecking, liar, child support fraud, tongue speaking crooks, female crooks, those fraudster broads. That's what you pack your church with. Same way that Jim Jones had a church full of ignorant black women who knew that he was molesting kids and everything else. They ended up dead. A lot of these cultic people, appeal to. Remember, the scriptures say that these places would be full of silly women, never coming to the knowledge of the truth.
Right.
It's stupid women and if the Bible sexes choke on it. The Bible says a lot of dumb women would be bamboozled by everybody. And what's the song? I know the Bible's right, someone's wrong. Pork chops are wrong. Feminism is wrong. Abortionists are wrong. Folks run down the divorce court, destroying marriages is wrong. Raising your boys and telling them that they're a girl on the inside, and telling girls they're a boy on the inside. Isn't it interesting that almost all of these people that are confused about their sexuality are girls growing up with these ratchet mothers that want to be men? The women hate God and hate being women so much until their girls want to be males. It's a female phenomenon primarily.
I mean, you know what, Doc, but you know what? We have to ask the question, is it a deep-seated hatred for God?
Mm-hmm.
Because again, you know, again, I believe in the scriptures. I'm unapologetic, but I also know this: when you come under the scriptures, then you abide by the scriptures, and the females are resisting correction.
Well, and we're not leading. Ultimately, the best thing that black men can do is to lead by example. See, I see folks in the manosphere, and all they're doing is pointing fingers and attacking women this, women that, women what. My thing is, but yet you want to go and be a passport brother. You want to screw a bunch of people and see bar girls in Thailand and others. That's the point is you're looking for paradise, but you've ruined what you had here. A lot of women, they can't get but so low if you won't get low with them. Right? If, like you said, if you don't say yes to everything, and you move on, leave the person alone. Certain people get around, I don't want to be alone. I'm going to do this. That's the same way certain people who did not want to be skipped for marriage waited until they were married to have sex. Then the pill and the loose morals, and then basically people do what they want. What a lot of the men are crying about is that the women are as trampish as they are. But dude, if we weren't out there, it'd be a lot harder to be a tramp by yourself. Seems as if somewhere this falls upon us to be, and it does, to be righteous, and righteousness will be attracted to righteousness. Instead of trying to refashion a person that's been out there dancing to Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B, and like been topping off all the fellas at the strip club and lap dancing, you want to make them into Mary, Queen of Heaven, Virgin Mary, wife. That's stupid.
Can't turn a hoe into a house, boy.
That's right. Why do that? In fact, the only thing a hoe knows how to dust is the tip of your penis. So it seems as if you should. In fact, she does a different sort of dusting and polishing. Get someone. Men need to become interested in forming families instead of busting a nut. I mean, you could, not that I'm encouraging people to masturbate. You could bust a nut by yourself. You can have wet dreams. But busting a nut is not like splitting the atom. Although we've made this for a lot of sorry, pathetic, underachieving black men on all levels, have made sex such a big to do until nothing really matters. In fact, you don't matter. You know, there has to be more than just busting a nut. What about the children? What about getting deeper into what sex means? Like someone that's there for you when you're old and ugly and your teeth are falling out, or when you have prostate cancer or prostate problems and you can't get an erection. You know, if that person's only interested in you for your magic stick and all the magic goes, I guess you're disposable. Something has to be a lot deeper than just carnal freak offs.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing?
Do you see what he got on? Do you see what he's wearing?
Oh,
Come on now.
man.
As a man, you have no business wearing that shit. Even if you was in Scotland wearing the kilt, even if you was a Campbell or McGregor or McDonald, you have no business wearing no shit like that. And as men, and let me get in here, man, because I see as men, a lot of us forgot how to be men. A lot of them don't know what it is to be men because they raised by women. You know, I said it before and I say it again, and every time I say it, it comes true. I was raised by a man. And that man always told me from the time of a little boy that we are living in a generation of men that's raised by women. That's why a lot of these beta males are beta males. I call them beta mama's boys. You know, they come up under women, and then once they come up adolescents and become independents, they look for other women to take the place of the woman that they come from up under. You know, oh, you can never find a woman to replace your mother. You only get one mother, and ain't no other woman gonna love you or take care of you like no one. So therefore, when you out into this world, you have to be a man. And the first thing about being a man is going out there and getting your own. God bless the child that got his own. And the best thing about having your own is maintaining your own and building off your own. You know, a lot of these young men out here are lost because they don't have any direction. And I'm gonna say this because I was one of those young men. You know, I was thinking that, you know, we were always taught that you have to get a good job, and when you get a good job, you work that job, put your kids through, you know, and all that. But yet we were never taught to go out there and build yourself up and get your own business, get this economy, get you an insurance policy to put money into, then you can draw out of it. We weren't taught that things. A lot of those things were unattainable. Remember on Malcolm X said that he told his teacher that he wanted to be a lawyer, and the white boy told him, "You're a Negro, you can't be a lawyer." Well, that's what we were told when we were growing up. I remember Chef C. When I was graduating from high school in 1992, my dad, they used to always walk me to school because their little hangout was right before my school. And that all his OG Vietnam veterans used to say, in my time, they wasn't called OGs. They was called vets. You know what I'm saying? And they used to always say, "Boy, what you going to do when you graduate?" And I say, "I want to be a chef." But then they would always say, "Yeah, that's a good thing, but you got to have money to be a chef." You know, to be a chef, that's nothing like you can go to a community college or some little side school to be. You have to go to an authentic accredited school. And out here on the West Coast, it was called the California Culinary Academy, CCA. And with that, you had to have financing, you had to have co-signers, and not only that, you had to have reliable sources of income to show that you approved that loan. So that always discouraged me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, as men like me, you, Dr. Short, Juan, we have to show these young dudes that everything that you want, everything that you dream of, and everything that you desire in life is obtainable if you can focus on it and put yourself to it. But as Dr. Shorts always say, you're not going to obtain the things that you want between the legs of a woman. You got to focus on that. You have to focus on your goal, as they say,
But you
eyes on the
can get
prize.
some of it. I didn't say all of
No,
it.
no, but no, you gotta be 100%. You gotta be focused. That's like I said, grinders and hustlers. When you a grinder, you eat, sleep what you do. When you passionate about something, you think about that shit in your sleep. Like my mentor always say, while other people sleeping, I'm up thinking. That's what a real one have to do. That's why I suggest all young dudes, whatever you want to do. And this is how I help the young brothers. I help them like whatever you want to do, be serious about it, because the work you put in is the time you have invested. And the years that you have in it is experience that can't nobody take from you. And that's your value right there. You know, you got to have years in the game in order to have your name recognized. You know, all these names like you, Dr. Short, you got years in the game. Your name ain't out here just because you just popped up on these apps because you lived 60 years. You know, you have years in the game. You have treads
Not
on your feet. You
60
have
years.
wore tires. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You know something. And this is one thing I disagree with when people say, don't trust them old niggas, nothing like that. I disagree with that. I love old niggas. Why? Because they've been my age. I haven't been theirs. And as we young men go through things in life, we need y'all older guys to guide us through that shit, because I've never been 59, Dr. Short, but yet I'm coming up on 50. So therefore, as I'm coming up on these journeys into these 50s, I need men like you to guide me through this shit. Like how I'm going through this business trials and certain things. I'm lucky enough, I'm glad, and I'm old enough that I don't like Jay-Z said, I got 99 problems and a woman ain't one right now. And I'm happy as hell for that. But yet, as me in my pursuit of power, and privilege, something that I can leave behind to my generation, the last thing I'm focused of is love right now. You know, when we're men growing up, we don't think about love, marriage, and a baby carriage. We think about power and success. We think about glory so our name can live on. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. And that's what we have to teach these young dudes. No disrespect, but fuck these women. You got to get out here and grind. You got to get out here and hustle, for the simple fact is you being a man, nobody's going to care about you and nobody's going to give you anything. So you got to get out here and get it for yourself, and you got to be all gas, no brakes, because the more you bullshit, the more you procrastinate, and procrastinate is the beginning of death. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
This shit is hard out here.
I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
You saw that white woman get prosecuted 10 years for her son shooting people and killing those folks in Michigan. Do you agree or disagree that that's an augury or omen for black women if their kids do wrong? If they'll lock a white woman up like that, don't you think that that means that black women are going to get locked up too? You got Biden and Kamala, the mass incarceration king and queen of black people together.
You know, I'm from where she from. When she was out here locking up the black women, because the black woman's just trying her best to get a job so she can get so she can have an income to get room and board for her children. She locked this one black woman up because the black woman left her kids in the car when she went on an interview to get a job. You know what I mean? Not only that, she's been locking up she is not a black woman. And as you always say, it's the wannabes that are our biggest threat. She is not a black woman, so she goes after black women. You know what I'm saying? And when she was out here, that's all she ever did.
You agree that black women are about to get a beat down from Kamala Harris?
I agree that black women are about to get a wake-up call from Kamala Harris. And that's where I wish my sisters will call her to the table and have a sit down, have a reach out like, nah, you got to answer for this. You mocking us. You're mocking my sister. You are mocking my mother. You're disrespecting my aunties. You are not a black woman. Your mother's born in Indian. Your dad is an Indian born in Jamaica. What's black about you? That's disrespectful right there.
What's black about her is the injustice that she did to the guy at Fruitville.
I said the only thing black about her is that melanated semen she was coming. You know what I mean? She's known as a got 3000 out here. See, we know about her. And my vets from her time, she was a Gok 3000, and that's how she got where she is right now. That's because she can't talk. That's why, as my dad would always say, that's why she always come drunk. You know what I'm saying? That's why she can never hold the whole thing.
She's the original ghetto gagger.
She's the original Gok 3000. As we used to call him back in the day, she's a headhunter. You know what I'm saying? She's a headhunter. And without that, she can't get nowhere. And it's like we used to say, my OGs used to always tell me back in the game, you get more out of a woman not trying to screw her than you do trying to screw her. You know, once you let a woman know that you're not trying to screw, that takes all her power away. That takes all her bullets out her gun, and that takes her spinach away from Papa. You know what I'm saying? And
You know,
that's how it is with some of these, that's how it is with some of these things out here. Go ahead, Dr.
and
Short.
the name is Oscar Grant. She's the one that
Yes,
gave the
yes.
white dude less than a year for murdering Oscar Grant and
When that
broad day.
happened, Dr. Short, around that time, when that happened, that was around the early 2000s. That's
Mhm.
when we were having that regentrification boom. That's when Jerry Brown was leaving office out here. And I think he was the DA of California at the time. That's when he was trying to implement those laws we had. So when that shit
I
happened
thought
with
Jerry
Oscar
Brown
Grant,
was governor in
check this
2003.
out. Check this out. I don't know exactly when, because I met him. I met Jerry Brown. He used to
I
love
met
to eat
Jerry
at this
Brown
spot. Yeah.
April Fool's Day 2003.
The
So I'm
original
just
New
saying.
Year's,
Okay,
New
so
Year's, April 1st. But yeah, I
I
met him and I told him that he was gonna win the governorship because nobody trusted Meg Whitman at the time. She was a bored billionaire who was just trying to run for governorship. And when he was in there eating a Mexicali Rose, I was like, he about to win the governorship. He's like, you think so? I said, I know so. But yet, he's the architect of regentrification. He's the architect of these sanctuary cities. Oakland was the first sanctuary city in California, not Los Angeles, Oakland. You know what I'm saying?
well,
That's when
I'm
the
going to
immigrants
say
was.
this up that Huey Newton and them supported feminism and LGBTQ and the whole internationalist shit of the Panthers. On one hand, yes, on another hand, no. We need to be very careful about intersectionality.
That was
Now,
that Berkeley in him. Huey P.
yeah,
Newton had a little slash of that Berkeley in him, and that's that. But yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with
right.
feminism. I don't agree with socialism. I don't agree with power to the, none of that. I agree with power to the black man. Because without us, it's not going to be nothing. We are the
Mm.
fighters, we are the providers, and we are the protectors, and we are the builders. If we can't come together and build, then it's over with. We can't follow. I mean, you said something earlier that I agree with. Juan said it. He said that if a man is following a woman, he would never be happy. And that's 100% true because he would never be able to live to his full ability. If you're living off a woman, if you're living off her income, if you're living off her resources and up under her roof, you're confined. You're like a fucking watermelon growing in a square cube. You're going to grow up a square. You're not going to even reach your full potential of what you can be. So that's why we have to teach these young men. We have to teach these young men how to go out to apply for jobs, how to fit. I know one thing for sure. We need to teach them how to fill out applications because that's
I'll
something
tell
that a
you
lot of these
something.
young dudes don't know how to do.
The thing about the watermelon being a square is that it's stackable, and therefore that's a real problem. I'm going to have to leave y'all for Bible study, but I have a request, and I need to hear from Chef C about and Brother Q about the Bag X. We'll have to do that at some point. Um, there's got to be that discussion, but I'm going to have to leave people, and so I can read the Christian Quran for all of my hater Islamics out there. I'll read the original Quran, the one that you read from left to right, not right to left. Anyway,
Hey, Dr. Short, they get
yes,
pissed at
sir.
me when I tell them that she's so concerned about it, care so much about it. Why don't you look into the story on how Dr. John Henry Clark broke down the whole inception upon that religion, on how two brothers from Somalia and Ethiopia created that. They don't want to hear that. They don't ever want to hear the origins. People, it's like they say, people have a romance. But once you take the love away and you just put like the intellectual and the knowledge in it, things that make you go, You know what I'm saying? Dr. Short, man, I don't appreciate you coming in and out, man. You're gonna have to start giving us more time, man. You're gonna have to tell you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to start giving more time to this. We
Well, no,
appreciate you,
I
man.
gave plenty of time. I've been here 2 hours and 43 minutes.
You're gonna have
I
to
don't
give
know
us
when.
3 hours and 55 minutes next time. I'm just fucking with
Well,
you, man.
we're gonna have fun. Look, we need to do another. In fact, we really should have a retrospective on the Black Panthers since you're in Oakland. I watched the whole documentary. I'm going to ask Brother Larry Pinkney because everybody's in the Eldridge Cleaver these days. And I'd like for Brother Juan because that's right there in self-defense. We need to look at Black radicalism and we need to do a Pat talk. And I love it. We don't want any women to come. It's going to be men only.
That's how it's supposed to be. If it's
We're
a
going to have
card
a
table with
man
4
only
seats, it's supposed to
thing.
be 4 men sitting
And,
there. That's how
and
it's supposed to
so
be.
we're going to have a discussion on this black movement and look at the stuff. I'm thinking of a nice Black History Month to have a Black History Month discussion and get a panel and see if we can get Dr. Winters and
We
see if
could
we can
do it
get
Saturday. We can do it this Saturday.
well, no, I'm not gonna do Saturday. That's a holy day. At least the first half of it. I mean, I'm gonna give at least half. God will get half of the day, although the whole day is His. But the first half of the day, we always get together and we pray, Brother Juan and I, because one thing that's also a problem in our community, everything is now female dominated. Used to at least be the one thing held out with little coon pastors, and now they practically have all of that too. Um, I heard about 80% of the people in seminary for the AME church are women. And so, by the way, the more women get in authority in the church, the more the shit goes down. I'm not trying to say women in church the problem, but women being only leadership, it's reduced to quality. I don't care if women say that. Women coming to the military is reduced to physical standards, all of that. Everything has to change because men and women are different. It's the same
Dr.
thing in
Short,
religion.
what they say, don't they say power is corruptive? So what is it with a
Yes,
woman with power?
she's corrupt. That's why Fannie Willis is buying private dick with public funds. The mayor of New Orleans is buying private dick with public funds.
Mm.
The mayor of DC, she's buying, I think, private
You know what
pussy.
I say about that? That's what happens when they try to play a man's game. You know, you may
No,
act
no,
like a
they're not
man and put
trying.
yourself in a man's position. That's
They're
what
playing a
happens.
man's
But yeah,
game.
yeah,
They're
you
playing a
know,
man's game with the strap on.
yeah,
And
but they can't take that though. They want the power, they want the privilege, but they
mhm,
can't take the pain or the punishment. You know,
that's
like my
true.
dad always said, they want everything until it's time to be treated like a man. But my dad
Right.
always told me anytime a certain individual put themselves in the position as a man, you
Mhm.
treat them as a man. I was always taught that.
You know, that reminds me of a song that my distant cousin had, and I changed the words to it. I just do a little bit of it, and it goes like this: stutter, stutter, stutter instead of brother. Stutter, stutter. There are far too many of you lying. Stutter, stutter, stutter. There are far too many of you trying.
I kind of
Oh,
like the
you
other
gotta
one. I like the
find
other
a
one.
way. No, no, no. I
I
like it.
come up hard, baby, living by the time. I'm a trouble man, baby,
No,
living by the
no, no.
grind. You know
We're
what I mean?
doing, so it goes. We've got to find a way to bring some heterosexuality here today.
Gentlemen, it was a privilege and an honor. Until next time, man, hey, let's do this again, man. It's short. I mean, Chef C,
Daughter,
You
daughter.
need to show Dr. Short that documentary, man. He ain't seen it. You need to show it to him. You need to give it to him, Chef C, man, so he can see
You
and
go, hey Twiz, you gonna keep doing this every time we
yes,
broadcast?
I'm gonna do it
You gonna really
because
do
this
that?
is Dr. Short.
Here's
Dr.
what I
Short
want.
need to
Here's what I
see
want
that.
you to do.
He
Here's what
just
I
said
want
that
you to
we
do.
need to do a
Hold on.
documentary about the
Hold
Black
on.
Panthers in West Oakland. You need
Here's what I'm gonna do to you. All right.
I gotta go
Stop
anyway.
playing with me, Twiz. Yes. He like that. Stop
check
playing
this
with
out, Crenshaw Mafia. Check
me.
this out, Crenshaw Mafia. You know how we get down.
Understand something. All right.
Mhm.
Well, nonetheless, brother Juan J. Johnson, sir.
Brother Juan, it was a pleasure, man. Each and every time with you, Juan. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need your help though, brother Juan, because my nephew, he's been in security for the past 10 years. So
Mhm.
I want him to get his own business now. So I was telling him that I know some black firearms instructors like that to help him with his credentials so we can start his own thing because you know, I want him to have his own business because he has a son. It's time for him to, have something to build on because out here in the Bay Area, have you been hearing about out here in Oakland in the Bay Area on how they've been having a lot of fires in construction sites? On how those anarchists and those wild ass meth heads from Oregon been burning stuff down. I want
Mhm.
him to have his own security guard company. Therefore, he can work for himself and he can have something to build on and give to his family. So I told him that I'm gonna introduce him to some firearm instructors, so he can better have his portfolio and have better credentials. So when he get his own security business, he can name his price. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Could you send me your if possible, could you send me your email and stuff like that, and we can network from there? And not only that, I'll add you to my Black Business Network so you can be a part of that and you can get some business out here from the West Coast as well.
Just you see the screen, lwftraining.com. Just go there, leave me a message, and
Could you send it to me? Because I can't write it down right now, you know. But we will network, we'll get it, I'll get it. But yeah, this is just the beginning, man. You know what I mean?
Hey, Twiz. Hey, Twiz. You know what? Matter of fact, I don't want to cut my brother Lone Wolf. You got that. Go ahead, brother Lone Wolf. Say what you was gonna say, sir.
No, I just put this out. I was going to put this out of the private chat so you have it.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Hey, Twiz, you see that thing scrolling on the bottom there? You see that?
I can't see it. Let me put my specs.
Yeah, put your goggles on.
Put my specs on, man. You know, I'm old, man.
You understand me? Now, you see that?
Visit from the soiltv.com. 0 views. You serious? That's
no, it don't say 0 views. It says 2 view. God damn it. You understand me? Where'd he go? Why his screen guy? Yeah, hey, 2 view. It's them damn goggles. Brother Lone Wolf, sir, let them know about the platform, how they can get a hold of you, how they can support you, how they can just go ahead and view your content in general. Let them know where they can go ahead and access you, Brother Lone Wolf.
Sure, they can go to lwftraining.com. That's lwftraining.com for the website. If you're interested in some firearms training, you can also go to lonewolffirearm@gmail.com if you want to write me. You can go to Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Juan J. Johnson or Lone Wolf Firearms Training. You can go to Twitter, again, Juan J. Johnson, Lone Wolf Firearms Training. I'm even on Instagram, LW underscore, I guess, training. When you see that little wolf in the middle of the little target, you're at the right place.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. If you want to do the Cash App again, that's going to be Lone Wolf Firearm, $, Lone Wolf Firearm. But look, before I end it, I want you guys to know this in the bigger scheme of things. We're supposed to be walking in dominion. As little children, when we were coming of age and having to tie our shoes, we didn't want nobody to tie our shoes. Remember how when you got old enough to tie your shoe, you tell your mom and your dad, no, don't talk. No, I got this. That's that dominion, infinite spirit in you. That's that dominion piece where you say, you know what, I know I'm called to do something. I can do this. And we got to just accept the reality in the bigger scheme of things that you were called to rule everything around you, and you were called to reign. That ain't been told to us. We've been watching everybody else rule and reign. You are supposed to rule, and you are supposed to reign. Okay, and you are supposed to even rule your woman, as the scripture teaches. Okay, so let's embrace that. Embrace your dominionness. That's a new word. Your dominionness, and walk in it. And I'm gonna land my plane on that.
Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Lone Wolf Firearms. You heard it first. Coming right from the man. I appreciate you, brother Juan J. Johnson. Brother Negro, it's been we kind of had you off to the side today. Not intentional, sir. Not intentional.
No. It's not a big deal today. I like sitting back listening to the brothers. Like every dog has his day, you know. But I like the setup, brother. Like, peace to that, yo. That is fresh. You can find the Negro Black Knights Heritage Club. We just solved one of our cases. They out here having Robert E. Lee at the school out in the front of one of the things. You know, I had to get that image censored. You know, get that scrub for the record. Right. Make sure you deface some old school Confederates because they don't need to be on our college campuses. So I was able to get one of them removed off. It was a Chinese guy who wanted to big up white supremacy. So you know, it don't matter what color they come in. Make sure you stop the misinformation and the misrepresentation of our people, no matter what setting we are in. So I just wanted to make sure, even if you're in college, make sure you call them out in a correct and an educated manner to let them know that, hey, I'm for my people. You can find us, the Negro Black Knights Heritage Club. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, catch us on Fanbase. You can catch us on a couple of black owned media outlets. You know, that's the move right now, family. Get to those black owned ones, those Negro owned social media outlets. Make sure you get at least account there, at least get a home where your people is at. Make sure you get a home where your people is at. And make sure you represent. There's a lot. EPRN, that's another black-owned one. Black Dollar Networks, that's another one. There's a couple other black-owned media outlets that I'll be on that I frequent with. So definitely shout them out and support them. It was one other one. Black State Majority had one that I like. I mess with that one too. And so make sure you check out the black-owned ones, family, as well. I'm always on Twitter, but with my people, that's where I'm at, and that's where I like to be at. So I just definitely want to support them because they definitely need to get that love too. And I want to say again, thank you, Brother Chef, for holding this Pat Talk, holding the space where the brothers can link and actually be one and actually unify to do some great work. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I want to see from here on out in the future. So I'm very, very excited.
No doubt, Brother Negro. I appreciate you tapping in, man. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I know y'all don't really see me go live too much, but you see the drip, ladies and gentlemen. You see the drippity. Yeah, I mean, and I just want to make sure that y'all know you can go to the website, okay, and get some of this drip here if you want.
Them pics was fire.
You can definitely go to the drip, get the hat I got on, get the, you know what I mean, get the hoodie that I got. Ladies and gentlemen, you can definitely go and get all of that from the Soil Put On, right? .tv, from the Soil.tv Put On. You can get all of this drip that you see me wearing right now. And definitely don't hesitate to get yourself that apron, because you know we always cooking in the community kitchen. I want to thank all the brothers for tapping in here today for this Angry Black Man's Book Club, Pat Talk number 11. You know, we're trying to make this as consistent as humanly possible, ladies and gentlemen. So aid us in tapping in different perspectives from different people. This is not an echo chamber. We don't do any of that. Everybody has their own thoughts, and it'll be respected as necessary, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, you know, I want to thank everybody for tapping in again with us today. And remember, in a system of white degeneracy, you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. My name is Chef C, and I'm out.